Oh, crikey. G'day. How you going? Rick Smith, Hazelwood Tiny Homes. I'm one of the team. I don't know where the rest of the team's gone right now. Hey, Dar, don't leave me hanging. Help me out here, Dar. Oh, come on, that's a girl. Here she comes.
I'll move around. Hi, how are you today? It's a beautiful day, isn't it?
Oh, it is now. The wind stopped.
Yeah. Oh, you talk.
Yeah.
You go.
Hey, Dar, ask me how strong the wind was today.
How strong was the wind today?
Blow the numbers off a dollar bill.
There's no dollar bills anymore. You can't use that anymore.
Oh, cryptocurrency.
That just shows how old we are. There's no dollar bills. They've been gone for years. Well, welcome to our Sunday afternoon live. We do this every Sunday. We answer your questions that have come in during the week. We give you a little bit of an idea of what we do behind the scenes, and we usually do a bit of an around the farm. A lot of people do ask for it. Hey, just go and get a drink if you're not interested and come back in a couple of minutes. As always, we've had a big week. I'm Shani, this is Rick, and we are coming to you on Facebook, YouTube and Instagram, and you can ask us questions as we're talking, and if we can't read the screen because we're so old, we'll get someone to read the screen for us, and Storm will let us know what those questions are. So as we're talking, if you hear something you want to know more about, type it in and then we can answer your question. We've had a lot of inspections this week, as per usual, but we had a sad week here on the farm. We lost one of our cows. One of our little baby calves died. So that's very sad, because you love your animals.
Love my animals, love my cows. Claw, the kids call it Claw. It was going to be it's purebred, and I was going to keep it as a bull. It was a beautiful looking calf, but unfortunately the mum, it was a massive calf. It was huge. And poor old mum had a follow through with the uterus, and it wasn't pretty.
Yeah. So it was a traumatised birth, and he never really came good. Yeah. We were doing a lot of, if you've seen any of our stories, we were doing a lot of hand feeding. We ended up taking him down to a lady that is local to us who's fantastic. That's what she does, is look after calves. And she did a great job, but
Thank you, Sasha.
They couldn't save him.
We did our best. And also want to shout out for Peter from the local vet there in Kiama.
Yeah.
Did a great job. We pump poor little man with heaps of steroids, Go Juice and V and Red Bull. But he just...
The cow equivalent of that.
The cow equivalent of Red Bull. Yeah. But didn't stack up. Poor little man was just too far gone.
He was a real cutie. But anyway, so yes, it's been a bit sad here. The kids have been upset. As you know, we have a lot of children, grandchildren and foster children here, and a lot of part of our they call it trauma counselling, but what we do is we got a dog because some of the kids were scared of dogs, and so that helped them to get used to animals and that sort of thing. So we have chickens and ducks and the cows, which they love, and it's a therapeutic environment. So we try to keep it as, I was going to say quiet, but that's not the right word.
So I said this morning, hey kids, we're going to mark the calves today. Who wants to help? Well, with that, it was unbelievable. Bees to honey. All the kids took off out of the house. They jumped in the bee. That's our little Can-Am, and they're ready to go. We're going to mark the calves.
Yeah.
And it wasn't pretty. I've got a lot to teach the kids about droving cattle.
About doing things quietly so that they just move quietly through the... Yeah.
With the Murray Greys, you don't need a dog. You don't need foster kids to make a heap of racket. You just need to walk behind them and just say, come on, girls, just call them up and away we go.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
We're everywhere.
Anyway, about half a dozen F-bombs later,
oh, no.
I finally sorted it.
You know not to do that on here. We had a little issue last week. You can't censor live, so unless they just take you off air.
You know how the big boys, right, they've got these strategies in place. So if someone inadvertently drops a wrong word,
that's right. Yes.
You've got like a bleep button.
Yeah.
But because we live, we don't have a bleep button. Shani strategically just sits just far enough away, and she kicks the crap out of me. That's my bleep button. Hey, Dar, how am I going to go next week? I'm on my own.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
So last week, a few minutes in, we had a comment from a male, don't know who he was, but he basically said that poor Ori couldn't get a word in. So I decided that I'm not going to be here next week. He's going to do it on his own, see how he goes. So give him lots of encouragement next week, because I'm off for a weekend with my girlfriend.
Everyone just stack up your questions. Like, come on, you got to help me out. I need everyone to help me next week, right? I'm going to be on my own. It's not going to be pretty.
That's right.
But we're just going to wing it.
You'll do a great job. You'll do a great job, won't you? Give him some encouragement. All right. Well, I've got questions from some of these come through the inspections that we have. People ask a lot of questions and we write them down. Sometimes you guys might ask a question that we don't get to, that we get to it the next week. So here we go on the questions.
Okay.
If I ordered a tiny home from you today, what is the delivery time?
Okay, at the moment we've just moved into a new factory, so based on our working on our format of the original factory, which was a lot smaller, we're out to sort of the delivery time, we're out to probably December, okay, with the current orders. At the moment we're starting a new tiny, we're starting one every 2 weeks.
Okay. Yep.
That's approximately a 6-week turnaround on each tiny, but because we've got an assembly line going, we were sort of December. But now in the new factory, we're building our crew, so we've got a bit bigger crew coming on board. Yeah. So ultimately, we're going to be able to up our turnover, which means our delivery times, we can start to, we've got a few bit more going on the assembly line.
I'm still too close, you're going to hit me again.
So we've got we're able to up the ante on the assembly line and start to pump out a few extras before Christmas. So,
okay.
So if you still like to get that,
can still get in before Christmas,
you still can get in. Get in before Christmas, only because we've improved our delivery times with the extra crew. So and
a bigger factory, we can do more at once.
More at once. That's right.
That's exciting. All right, that's good. So we're building a new model. It's called the Jackson. Is that it's going to be at the Mudgee Field Days in July? Will that be for sale? Can people buy it?
The Jackson model, yes, it is for sale. We've actually, it's actually based off a model that we'd already designed, but what we're adding a little bit of, we're sort of pimping it up a bit, going for a little bit of country, sort of urban sprawl look. And
what's urban sprawl? What do you mean?
Coast. Yeah. Most of urban sprawl's on the coast, though.
Oh.
True story.
Yeah, okay, right.
Okay.
Well, it's coastal.
Coastal. Yeah, coastal.
It's a different look, isn't it?
So on the exterior, we're bunging in a few. We're bunging in some louvers, and because we're going to Mudgee, hey, let's throw in like a real fireplace.
Well, that's another question. Do we do that?
Yes.
Can you have real log burning fireplaces inside your tiny home?
Yeah. We've actually done a bit of research on this. We've come up with a supplier that actually has a purpose-made wood-burning fireplace to go into tiny houses, whether it's built from timber, steel frame construction, or refrigeration panel construction. Yeah. Okay, these fireplaces go into tiny homes. That's what they're for.
They're made for.
They're made for tiny homes.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit involved, like. It's not just, let's bung in the fireplace and put a flue outside. You know, so because we try to put in enough windows for the light and all that sort of stuff. So when you go through the wall, like I just thought, I'll come out the wall, I'll duck around this window, I'll duck around this window. And when you get a bit higher, just weave around this one and duck around that window. So I had about half a dozen. And call it
unique or something.
So, but as it turns out, I've learned a bit. Actually, this was from Bathurst.
That's right.
Bathurst Field Days.
So the experts are telling us how to do it. Yeah.
And as it turns out, if you've got any more than 2 bends in a flue on the outside, or any fireplace for that matter, you don't get the draw. Okay, so the draw, there's too many bends and the draw's not happening. So, but you can go straight through, so straight from the fireplace, straight outside, and then duck and weave, but only twice. 45, any more than that.
You can duck and weave, but no duck and weaving.
That's right.
Okay, right, good.
Otherwise, you're going to smoke up your tiny house.
Oh, we don't want that.
No.
Okay, good question. All right, so that log burning fireplace is done. Next question. I love your Tucker's Rest model, but it's too small because it's built as a weekender. Can you make that model bigger?
Yeah. We actually had that question this week. So obviously our Tucker's Tucker's Rest model was designed for the B&B market, just the weekenders. So people just staying Saturday, Sunday night, maybe an extra night.
Yep, it's also going to Mudgee in July throughout that way, so you can have a look.
We're going to take the Tucker's Rest out to Mudgee.
Yep.
Field day with the all the wineries and stuff out there.
Yeah, so
Lots of B&Bs.
Here's the thing. Yeah. We don't want to bring it home. So if you're after a Tucker's Rest B&B model, let's deliver it to you after July the 10th. It's yours.
Yeah.
So hey, chat to us.
Yeah, talk to us on it. Now, the Tucker's Rest, 2.4 tonnes, so you can tow it with, you can probably tow it with an SUV.
Our son-in-law's towing it out there.
Yeah, just a normal four-wheel drive. You don't need a big Dodge Ram. It's only 2.5 tonnes. But to answer that question, can I build a bigger? Yes. The question was, the lady wanted just a little bit extra storage for the to be able to put a wardrobe in.
Yeah.
And which would, by extending it, say, a metre, still the same format, same layout.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So very open plan.
Still open plan.
And just the bathroom.
Massive window.
There.
The winner was the big window
Right.
of the queen size bed. That was a huge winner at the show. People
have you
loved
seen
that.
it? Let us know in the comments if you've actually seen it on the pictures, or you came to the home show in Sydney and had a look. We'd love to know what you think.
Yeah.
And of course, it's got the rusticated cypress around the bottom, so you don't have to do that. But
and that using that same format in our Maverick model. So you've got the bigger home, which is 7.2 metres long, 3 metres wide, and 4.6 metres high. Okay. We've actually, with our master bedroom being at the end of the Maverick now. With the what that means is we're going to be able to include that massive big picture window. So now you're in nature, like you're out with the roos and the wombats, you know, like.
If you're on the coast, it'd be the seagulls,
crabs.
I don't know that. Well, I don't think there's any wombats and kangaroos. Oh, actually, that's not true, is there? There's lots down the coast.
Ask me how you get rid of crabs.
No, I'm not going to ask that question. Not going to ask that question. The next question was, and actually this is very, very interesting. So one of our clients is, hi Cindy, is really into natural health and oils and all of those sorts of things. Now she's been doing a lot of homework on something that's very interesting to a lot of people, which is the electromagnetic fields. And what does that do to your health? I know that a lot of people that are interested in tiny home living are also very interested in those sorts of external factors that can influence our lives, like what sort of electromagnetic fields are coming from, say, phone towers or high voltage lines, and then inside your home, your phones, your computers, your microwaves. What is happening? So she was concerned about living in a metal framed tiny home. Does that mean she's going to be at risk of almost nuking herself? So she did a bit of homework, and she's let us know that, and this is amazing, and it's so cool for us, that it's actually when you live inside of something that is a metal frame, the electromagnetic field cannot get inside that metal cage, that metal frame. So the way we build out of the bond door is actually reflecting the electromagnetic field. Unbeknownst to us, we didn't know, we just thought it was a great product, but it's actually got an amazing benefit to you as well. Now, inside the tiny home, if you have, say, a microwave or things that, or your phones that do emit this electromagnetic field, it can't escape. But there's ways to alleviate that by bringing plants inside the home, bringing stuff that diffuses those fields. I mean, the jury's still out on the health risks long term for these things. There isn't probably been enough research done, but hey, it's a wonderful thing to know.
Yeah, and because it's not just it's not just steel frames, so it's not just studs that are steel.
No,
the actual walls.
So it literally is
so
like
it's
a metal.
It's sheet metal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's not like holes in it. It's sheet metal. So so all those radio waves and stuff that are out there. Basically hit the outside of the home and bounce off. So that's really good. But and the other big thing was we were installing into our homes the the Bluetooth lighting, switching, and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, long story short, we have actually gone back to manual
Yeah.
manual, generic, whatever,
Yes.
hardwired,
Hardwired lighting.
switch lighting, and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff for
Yeah.
this reason.
Yeah.
Okay, so because at the end of the day, so now you're inside a metal box.
Yeah.
So imagine that, like you turn on the microwave and it's like.
We
It's
don't
like
want that to
a
happen.
ball in the pinball machine. You know?
Yes, we don't want that to happen to anybody. And so what Cindy was saying was by planting, like bringing a lot of indoor plants inside and things like that, you can diffuse the microwave energy and things like that. So that's just interesting, even in your own home. I haven't done a lot of homework on it, but I love when our clients bring information to us that we can then use to make a better product or to help our clients to think about those things and so that's really cool. And leave some comments if you want to know more about it. So next question. I've done the log burning. I was at an inspection at your factory. Noticed you had an 8.4 metre trailer that you had on the floor. It didn't have any wheel arches in it. Why is that?
Okay. This one in particular, this is going to be designed, this is going to be an executive suite for some young developers. Okay, this is designed for the inner city market.
Okay.
Okay, it's all single level living.
So this is for a resort.
It's
going
basically
for a resort
on a beautiful farm of multiple tiny homes will be placed around the actual farm itself, and hence, because it's single level, we weren't restricted in our overall height.
Okay.
Because we're doing single level, we don't need to max out our 4.6 to try to get the standing room up in the loft.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got one level. So what we've done, we've jacked up the tiny home so the wheel arches are actually flush with the floor.
Yeah.
So because we don't have to reduce the floor level to get our maximum height.
Okay.
We're running one level.
So if you want a one level home,
so if you want a one level home. Because for those that have asked, and a few questions have come in, like how do we get our walking room upstairs in our lofts? It's a combination of things. It's a combination of recessing the wheels up into the tiny home, which are concealed under the kickboards of the kitchen and the cabinetry.
Yeah.
Also, we put 100mm drop axles in, which lowers the home again. And then a combination of our flooring, our suspended floors, and our roof paneling will save another 6 inches there. So when you add all that up, that stacks up to a ceiling height or a clear ceiling height of anywhere from 1.8 to 1.85 metres clear ceiling height upstairs. And so standing room upstairs in the tiny homes.
Okay, that's good. So if they don't need a loft, then they can have a full panel. Full flat floor downstairs with lovely,
which does actually help and gives us a lot more breathing space with design on the ground floor, because we don't have to worry about hiding or concealing wheel arches inside the home.
Restricted to where the cupboards go. And
that's right.
Like that.
So there's a lot more open plan sort of feel. We can sort of we've got a flat level floor because you're not going upstairs. It's just one floor level. Yeah. So 8.4, but listen. 3 metres wide. Remember that? 3 metres wide.
Yeah, makes all the difference.
When we're talking tiny houses, an 600 600 mil is a lot of space.
That's the standard kitchen cupboard is 600 mil deep.
Yeah.
So it's that again.
Yeah.
And then hiding those cupboards underneath the stairs and things gives you that space as well. So yeah. Okay. Next question, because we've got wood-fired pizza happening tonight, so trying to race through. So on that same trailer that's in the factory, you have got walls built from aluminium. So they've obviously seen it this week because it's only just come in.
It's only just come in, This is a 8.4 metre long tiny home, 3 metres wide. The reason we've actually got steel aluminium stud walls on this home, because it's only single level, but our clients are going for a preferred interior finish, which is going to be pre-finished ply, like I think it's called beach, with express joints. This is like that real inner city, like
I've seen the spec. It's really incredible. It's
like our taps.
Have you been to the grounds at Alexandria at all? If anyone's in Sydney, I mean, pretty much everybody knows the grounds of Alexandria. It's an amazing. Look it up on Instagram. Have a look. It's incredible. That style, that sort of vibe, is what they're going for. Yeah. It looks incredible.
Yeah. So our tapware, in the shower, it's going to be like all express copper
Yeah.
pipes, taps,
It's, I
overhead
cannot wait to do
shower
it.
rows.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
I'm
Yes.
pretty excited about it. Yeah, it's,
the architects have done a great job.
Great
It's going to
job.
look really nice.
Yeah, so I'm pretty
Something
excited.
very, very different. And I think once this one's done, that we're doing one for them to make sure that this is exactly what they're after, and then there'll be multiples, and they have multiple sites across, I think, New South Wales. So there'll be more of these. Okay, so what service do you provide when you deliver a tiny home?
Depending on the tiny home which you've ordered, if it's just a home with no deck and awning, it's just the actual home itself. What we'll do, we'll just bring the home out. We'll each of our homes come with a 2-ton jack on each of the corners, so 4 2.5-ton jacks. Okay, so they're strategically placed on the tiny home.
Yep.
So once you put them in place, you jack it up so you can actually level the home on the actual site itself. Now, to go,
do you do that for them?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yes. We'll level the home and good to go. Now, pre that, we get an idea if the home's going onto a site that's unlevel, and then you've ordered a deck and an awning roof, and we'll take it through to the nth degree, whatever needs to be done. Of course, there's a minor fee involved, but like, I want to make sure you're happy with your tiny home.
So what we ask you to do when you come for the first our big client sort of chat, and we go through what you want inside, everything else. We allow the best part of a morning to do that. You choose all your finishes and all those things. Then we'll also you'll have photos of where it's going. So if so that we can get a bit of an idea of what needs to happen at the other end, and we can give you a very good guide on you're going to need to level here or what needs to happen to the site to make it ready.
I think a lot of people think, I'm just getting a tiny home, I'm just going to bung it out in the flat and just start living.
No.
There's a lot more to tiny house living than that.
Yep.
Okay. Sure, we're going to get the tiny home level in the first place.
But then your water tank has to sit on level ground.
We'll get the water tank, and then we're going to get the water from the gutters on our tiny homes into the water tank.
That's right. So if it's on a slope.
That's right. So water's a big commodity when it comes to tiny homes, especially if you're going off grid.
Yeah.
It's power, it's the solar. It's the gas. How's all that going to work?
Yeah.
So there's lots to take into consideration when going into tiny house living, because I think a lot of people that perhaps coming out of Sydney and want to just break away and go bush in the redneck country, remember, when you have a shower, you don't just turn on a tap and it happens. Okay, you've got to have water, you've got to have gas, and you've got to have power. Yeah. And when you go off grid, all three of those needs to be incorporated into your design.
I'll just give you a heads up straight away. You're going to be exactly like me. So when you have friends over in your tiny and they turn the tap on to wash their hands, and then they sort of turn away and they start talking to you, and they've left the tap running, you will think nothing of it. While you're still talking, just turn the tap off, and it's like, whoa! What? I'm like, that like there goes 5 litres while you're still talking to me.
That's right. Yeah.
So it's just I have no shame anymore in conserving the water. I mean, we have. The kids know that if they are in the shower for too long, it's like the knocks on the door and you need to hop out. It's not just the water, it's the gas to make the hot water hot. And so it's
the
all
power
about
to make
learning.
the pump run to pump the water.
Yeah.
So there's lots to take into consideration. Initially, I was suggesting to people that a 2,000 litre tank was enough. Yeah. But hey, listen, at the end of the day, when you get a truck in, like a water cart in, you might do the initial fill with a water cart because, as you would, because it mightn't rain just in time so you need water. Yeah. These water carts, on average, they carry about 8,000 litres of water. Okay. Now, water's cheap. The water itself costs stuff all. But what you're paying for is a truck hire for the guy with the water cart to actually go fill up at a hydrant somewhere.
I have to tell you what it like. If you're in town and you're paying for town water, you're paying around about, I don't know, is it 2 cents a litre?
No,
it's not a lot.
Less.
It's say 2 cents a litre. It's not much. For a water cart, you'll pay about 50 cents a litre. So that's why we turn the taps off. Yeah. We are conscious of. There's a shift in your thinking when you are living off of rainwater, that you just realise what a precious resource it is. And in Australia, like, you know,
So if your rainwater, the guy bringing the water in, it's an 8,000 litre cart.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you only got a 2,000 litre tank, he's still going to charge you $150 just to turn up.
Yeah.
So you might as well max it out. Put a 5,000.
It's around about it's about $450.
Yeah, that's for 2 loads. One load's only about $250.
Is it? No.
Okay.
We'll agree to disagree. I think.
But listen, I've grew up on rainwater.
If you deliver water, let us know. What do you charge?
Yeah, but hey, listen, if you're from the city, you go in bush, you go in redneck country, and you're going to start living off rainwater.
Let's talk about the filter again.
The first thing I'm going to suggest is you go from glasses to aluminium cups. That way you can't see the wrigglies swimming in the water.
Well, let's talk about filters, because that just might be you've just lost all your clients. So the
True story.
It might be true, but a lot of people don't want to see that there's anything in their water. So what's the filter system? How can you tell us how you do that DIY pretty simple filter system for a tiny house?
This is a poor man's filter system. Okay, what it does on a tiny home, obviously the gutters are up higher. Even a 5,000 litre tank is maybe 2 metres high. Our gutters on our tiny homes are approximately 3 metres high. So you're a metre higher than the tank. So typically you sort of think, okay, I'm just going to go straight from the gutter, straight into the tank. Yep. But the trouble with that, especially if you're in the bush, once again, you've got the bird stuff, and you've got leaves, and you've got all that sort of stuff that's going to drop stuff in your gutters. Yeah. With the rainfall, it's going to wash it straight into the tank. So what you do, with your downpipes on your tiny home, take it straight down to the ground, come across the ground, and then it's going to come back uphill into your tiny home. So that there's a section of your pipe that's going to be under constant pressure. Yep. Okay, because it's going to be constantly full of water. Right. Okay, so you've had a rainfall, it's filled that up first. Yes. And then the water's going to go uphill, back up into your tank. Yep. But what the beauty of that is that all the solids, so your leaves and your bird stuff, is all going to stay in the lower section of your pipe. Yeah. Okay. This is like year 9 science or geography. Exactly. So in that U section that you put at the bottom, you can actually buy the right fittings and a screw fitting on the end. So after you've had a rainfall, rain stopped, undo the cap. What that does is flush out your system, washes all the leaves and all the grime and all the silt and everything that's landed in your gutters, washes out on the dirt. Yeah. Screw that back on again, then you're ready for the next rainfall. Imagine if people had one of those. We could just screw off all the terrible thoughts and things and just wash it out. Where are you going, Dale? I don't know. It's been a week. It's been a week of lots of family, children. Anyone with teenagers would understand exactly where I'm coming from. So imagine if you had a reset button. So glad we get 24 hours in a day. That's all I can say on that. Okay, next question. Your homes are so huge. How can they be underweight? And what is the weight and how do you stay underweight? Okay. Well, underweight. What is underweight? Yeah, what is underweight? Typically, most tiny home builders across Australia, potentially across the world, I suppose, they aim at a 4.5 tonne weight. I don't know. Is it the same everywhere? Is America the same? If you're in America and you do tiny houses, I'm just going to talk Australia. Too much information. I'm just going to talk Australia. Australia, 4.5 tonnes, because RMS and all that sort of stuff. Once you go, if you're towing a trailer and it's more than 4.5 tonnes, you need air brakes. That is why you try to stay under 4.5 tonnes in the design. Right. Now, that's not to say you can't go over 4.5 tonnes, but you're paying extra over because air brakes cost a lot more, okay, than your typical electric brakes that most tiny homes have actually got. Right. So with the tiny homes, you've got, whether it be dual axle or triaxle, you've got electric brakes. So as long as you stay under 4.5 tonnes, electric brakes, sweet as. So if you want a big tiny home, like huge tiny home, and you want to go above 4.5 tonnes, you can do it. Okay, no problem. But obviously you're going for a bigger home, so it's going to cost more money for the actual home itself. But part of that extra overcost is going to be the fact you've got to put in air brakes. Because remember, 4.5 tonne, you're not towing it with a normal four-wheel drive. No. Dodge Ram, 5-tonne truck, whatever. But It's not a normal four-wheel drive
Yeah, so
anyway.
most tiny houses need a bigger than a car.
So the answer to that question is yes, you can go above 4.5 tonne, but there's an extra cost because you're going to go air brakes.
Yeah.
Under 4.5 tonne, electric brakes keeps it simple, a lot easier to manage and organise. So, so how do we do our bigger homes under 4.5 tonne? A couple of things. We've just swung over to aluminium trailers. Now, if you get on the net and start Googling aluminium, people got this perception that steel is stronger than aluminium. Okay? It's a wise tale. Aluminium, stronger than steel. So not only is it stronger than steel, it's lighter than steel. Also, doesn't need to be pre-finished, doesn't need to be galvanised, doesn't need to be painted.
Protection.
So it's not going to rust, it's not going to corrode.
Right.
So what you're doing, you're actually adding life to your tiny home. But on our typical trailers, where you've actually got two chassis, okay, you've got the chassis of the trailer itself, 150 to 200 mil, depending on the length of the tiny home, and you've got another 100 mil for the actual tiny home chassis. So our, I guess, infrastructure of our tiny homes is 250 millimetres minimum. Now, because imagine doing all that in steel. So we actually save somewhere around half a tonne in weight by going to aluminium.
Yeah.
Half a tonne. What that means is you can put more food in the fridge.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, beyond what we build them at, then people put all their stuff in. So it's like a caravan, same deal. People load up their caravans with all their gear and their clothes and their ski equipment and everything, and then wonder why they get the death wobbles on the road. You know, because it's too heavy. Because it's been built to just under the weight, and then once everything's inside it, it's way over. So it's just something to be so careful of when you're loading it up.
Yeah, that's right.
So we want to, as builders, allow how many? A few hundred kilos for all the stuff that goes in there.
Stuff on top. Although in saying that, if you start to really max out our homes in size, like we know maximum size, once you get to that, then
you won't be able to have anything inside.
whilst you're travelling. But hey, listen, you're not obviously going to do a day trip in a 4.5 tonne tiny home.
Not a big one. That's one that's going to stay. It's staying. Yeah. Okay, that's good. All right. Why do all tiny home builders aim at being under that 4.5 tonne? I think you might have answered that question. So, can you conceal the gas bottles in a toolbox on the front of your tiny homes?
The answer to that is a big no. Because gas, okay, as much as all the blokes out there might be able to connect up the gas bottles really good and they don't leak, other people may be not so efficient. And if a gas bottle leaks, it's letting out gas. Now, if you put a gas bottle in a toolbox with all the rest of your electrical gear, say you've got your solar and your pump, your water pump for your rainwater in the same box.
Can you store the extra ones in there?
Gas bottles, as long as they're not actually hooked up. If they're just closed, So what that means is, and you'll see this on most caravans, they actually put their gas bottles, they're outside, they're all exposed. I mean, it does look real pretty, but at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Yeah, so where do our gas bottles get put?
Gas bottles are on the outside in gas bottle holders.
Okay. They're at the front or?
Yeah. We depending on the site and where it's going to be located, where it is, if it's a suburban area or on a farm, it doesn't matter so much. So what we try to do is organise all of our utilities, if you like, all at the blind end of the tiny home. So it's not when you come home, you just, whoa, there's my gas bottles. You know what I mean? So we try to make it work so it looks the best presentable way on your actual tiny home.
So as a standard too with the gas, so we have like the barbecue outlet on the veranda or at the front. What other things
we've got the gas hot plates.
Yeah.
Obviously, we also have the gas, the Rinnai gas hot water systems, the instantaneous gas. So effectively, anyone that's going to go off grid, my understanding and all the homework I've done, gas is the most efficient form of heating for your tiny home. So for your showers, for your hot plates, for your bayonet on your balcony, for your barbecue, gas is the best way to go. Actually,
do you know how long maybe like your barbecue size gas bottle?
Yeah. So we actually set our tiny homes up for 2 9-kilo gas bottles. They're the largest.
Barbecue
they're
size.
The ones for the barbie. They're the big ones. Okay. We set them up for 2 gas bottles with a diverter. So the beauty of that is, so when one gas bottle runs out, all you simply got to do is switch over the divert to the other gas bottle, and then you've got that reminder, oh crap, we're going to go and buy another gas bottle.
So always check before you jump in the shower.
Yeah, that's
Because
right.
that happened to me 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
I was out of gas.
Yeah.
And
it's always, you'll run out of gas when you're halfway through a shower.
Yeah.
Every time.
Every time.
That's right.
That.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
that's all the questions this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got a few shows coming up, which I don't have the dates of, but I know we're at the Murray Bateman Field Day. Mudgee in July, that's our next one, 10th and 11th of July.
And we're taking out to Mudgee, we touched upon it earlier, we're taking out the Tucker's Rest out to Mudgee, and we're also taking out the Jackson.
The Jackson, which
the
no one's
modified
seen yet.
Jackson, the modified Jackson. I'm pretty excited about this. It's really taken shape in the factory. With the we've actually we put a few things in. We're going to put in the fireplace because Mudgee's cold. So we're going to put in the fireplace in this one. We're going to have the louvers. We've got the black windows.
I have to say, if you're going to Mudgee Field Days, so we know because we've been going to Mudgee Field Days for 20-something years, I think it's 20 years, there's a pub there called the Red Heifer. And it's got this barbecue inside that it's a big barbie, and you order your meat and all the things, and then you stand around the barbecue and cook your meat. And it's incredible. And you have to, we booked, I think, in January for the July weekend because you can't get in. So if you're thinking of going, get a booking and see us at the barbecue, and we'll have a chat about all things tiny homes. It'll be fantastic.
Yeah.
So it's just the highlight of our year. That's really sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
The highlight of our year is to do a cook your own barbie at Mudgee.
Hey, Dan, I just wanted to ask you about your hat, Dan. What's the go with the hat?
Well, I haven't washed my hair, so I put a hat on. But so next weekend, Rick's on his own. He'll be here by himself doing all the questions and chatting to you. So make sure you give him lots of love and encouragement, and there'll be no more comments about me taking all the space and doing all the talking. So,
but Dan, you make me. Is that the line?
No, you complete me.
Oh,
is
that's
the
right.
line. And that's not true.
Was that a chick flick?
I think it was Jerry Maguire. I love that movie. Okay.
Dan,
All right.
ask me why I didn't have a refill tonight.
Why didn't you have a refill? Because we've got
Because I'm using my goon bag to hold up my phone.
So, all right, we're all class here. All right, thank you so much for joining us today. Have a great long weekend here if you're here in this beautiful country. We get an extra day tomorrow. A bit of a sleep in, and so we'll see you. I won't see you, but Rick will see you next Sunday at 4:30 p.m. See you later.